David Ruffin of the Temptations' sad story. David Ruffin was a highly acclaimed singer and performer, best known as a member of the legendary Motown group, the Temptations. Davis Eli Ruffin was born January 18, 1941, in Meridian, Mississippi. Ruffin's powerful and soulful voice, combined with his dynamic stage presence, made him a standout member of the Temptations. In this video we are going to focus on David Ruffin of the Temptations' sad story. On our channel we feature such videos. Remember to like, comment and subscribe to our channel for such. The original lineup of the Temptations, which included David Ruffin, Eddie Kendricks, Paul Williams, Otis Williams, and Melvin Franklin, is widely considered to be one of the most iconic and talented groups in music history. Their influence can still be heard in the music of many contemporary artists today. After joining the group in 1964, Ruffin became the lead singer on many of the group's biggest hits, including My Girl, Ain't Too Proud to Beg, and I Wish It Would Rain. In addition to the hits mentioned, the group also had many other notable songs during their time at Motown, including Beauty Is Only Skin Deep, The Way You Do the Things You Do, Ball of Confusion, That's What the World Is Today, and Papa Was a Rollin' Stone. David Ruffin left the Temptations in 1968 due to growing tensions with the group and a desire to pursue a solo career. While he was a talented and successful artist, his relationship with Motown was often contentious, and he struggled to find the same level of success as a solo act that he had enjoyed as a member of the Temptations. Ruffin's legal battles with Motown certainly didn't help his cause, and his efforts to form a competing group with other former members of the Temptations likely did little to endear him to the label or his former bandmates. As a result, Ruffin found himself in a difficult position, with limited promotional support and a lack of strong singles to showcase his talents. He was replaced by Dennis Edwards, who went on to become a highly respected and successful member of the group in his own right. As a solo artist, Ruffin continued to make music and achieve success. His hit single, My Whole World Ended, The Moment You Left Me, was released in 1969 and reached the top 10 on the Billboard charts. Ruffin also released several other successful solo albums and singles over the years. After years of struggling to find success as a solo artist on Motown, David Ruffin left the label in 1977 and signed with Warner Bros. Records. His first album for the label, titled So Soon We Change, was released in 1979, but it failed to make a significant impact on the charts. During this period, Ruffin also reconnected with his former Temptations bandmate Eddie Kendricks, who had also left the group and was pursuing a solo career. Kendricks and Ruffin had been close friends during their time in the Temptations, but their relationship had become strained as a result of the tensions within the group and their own solo careers. However, by the late 1970s, Kendricks and Ruffin had reconciled and began performing together as a duo, billing themselves as Ruffin and Kendricks. They released several albums together and toured extensively throughout the 1980s, showcasing their impressive vocal talents and their enduring friendship. While their collaborations were not as commercially successful as their earlier work with the Temptations, they remain an important part of Ruffin and Kendricks' legacies. Although Ruffin left the Temptations, he continued to maintain ties with the group and occasionally performed with them, as you mentioned. The 1982 reunion tour and the 1983 Motown 25 special were both significant events that brought together many of Motown's most legendary artists, and Ruffin's participation in these events was a testament to his enduring legacy as one of the great voices of soul and R&B music. After years of struggling with drug addiction and legal troubles, David Ruffin was sentenced to 6 months in a low-security prison in Indiana in 1982 for tax evasion. He was later arrested for cocaine possession in 1987, which led to repeated parole violations and another stint in prison. Despite his personal struggles, Ruffin continued to tour and record music throughout the 1980s. He reunited with Eddie Kendricks in 1985, and the two began touring as a duo, performing their classic Temptations hits and their own solo material. David Ruffin, along with Eddie Kendricks and Dennis Edwards, had just completed a month-long tour in England in May 1991. According to reports, Ruffin was paid $50,000 in cash for his performances on the tour and reportedly kept the money in his briefcase. Tragically, Ruffin died on June 1, 1991, at the age of 50, while on tour in Philadelphia with Kendricks. The official cause of death was listed as an adverse reaction to drugs. However, some have speculated that foul play may have been involved in Ruffin's death, as his money belt was reportedly missing from his hotel room. There is a common misconception that David Ruffin's body was tossed from a speeding car outside a hospital. This is a fictionalized account of his death that was portrayed in a television miniseries. In reality, according to reports, Ruffin was found dead in a crack house in Philadelphia on June 1, 1991. It is true that Ruffin's estate sued NBC in a defamation case over the portrayal of his death in the miniseries, but the case was ultimately dismissed. Ruffin's children have said that their father's body was taken to the hospital in his limousine and that he was escorted inside by the driver. They also said that his body was claimed a few days after he died. It is important to separate fact from fiction and to correct any misconceptions or inaccuracies regarding David Ruffin's life and death. Regardless of the circumstances of his death, David Ruffin's contributions to music and his enduring legacy as a member of the Temptations and a solo artist continue to be celebrated by fans and musicians around the world. Thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe and hit the notification button. See you on the next video.